sort of a veteran, a comedy veteran, to go alongside sort of a younger cast. It was kind of the same sort of idea behind Community, for example. Chevy Chase was sort of the anchor that brought that show along. But I gotta say, like, this show is, I love it for the same reasons that I love Parks and Rec to a certain extent. It's got the same sort of feel, the same sort of vibe in terms of just people being genuine advocates for one another. It takes a little bit of time to, like I said, to get going, but once it does, it honestly has become one of my favorite shows. I've sat back and I've watched it. I binged the whole thing, minus like 2 episodes, in 48 hours, and it's something that I'm considering kind of going back to already, even though I just finished watching it. So it's a really solid television show. It's really funny, has some really really great, really poignant moments. Deals with philosophy in an interesting way. Of course, like the conceit of it is that these people have died and gone to the good place, but Kristen Bell's character knows that she does not belong in the good place because she was a terrible person. And I will leave it there because I don't want to spoil anything at all. What I will say, as a one sort of non-spoiler spoiler, seeing Ted Danson behind the bar in one particular episode just was a nice little subtle nod, and made me laugh quite a bit. So that's The Good Place. The second little bit of culture that I wanted to shout out as being something really positive in my life over the last couple of weeks. I don't know if this is just like a function of growing older or what it is, but I don't listen to a lot of new music anymore. Kind of like in my little world, like if somebody that I'm already aware of comes out with a new album, I'm probably going to give it a shot. But like in terms of new artists, I don't come across that many new artists anymore. Maybe that's just a function, like I said, of getting older. Maybe it's a function, like, generally speaking, the only radio that I listen to is like talk radio, CBC. I listen to a lot more podcasts than I do music, just in my regular day to day. So when an artist makes an imprint on me, or when a band makes an imprint on me, I don't know, man. It's something special, and what's more, they are actually local in this case. And the band I'm talking about is Port Cities. I happened across their newest single, which is called Montreal. I think it was actually on CBC Radio that I heard it, and I was just thoroughly charmed by this song. It sort of reminded me of Stars, which is another sort of Canadian indie darlings. And I needed to know what this song was, so I quickly Googled the lyrics because, of course, I didn't hear who the band was, and came up with Port Cities. They are a trio based right here in Halifax and formed in 2015. They have a full length album out, and they are obviously releasing new singles, which may suggest a new album's forthcoming. I'm not sure for sure, but it's comprised of Dylan Guthrow, Bria McKinnon, and Carlton Stone. They were all sort of had their own established solo careers beforehand, before they came together as a band in 2015. And I got to tell you, it's some really beautiful music. I'm really, really enjoying their album. Of course, Montreal is really great. Astronaut's a beautiful song from the album, as is Back to the Bottom, which I think I've heard elsewhere, and I can't quite place where I've heard it, but I've definitely heard Back to the Bottom. It's very catchy. It's got a nice sort of driving rhythm to it, so highly recommend them. Again, it's kind of like that sort of modern sort of indie pop flavor to it that I've really been enjoying. So I do highly recommend Port Cities. I will definitely be looking out for their next hometown gig. I think honestly, I became aware of them and started really obsessing over their album right after they had just played. I believe they just played the Cohen, so the Rebecca Cohen Auditorium, I should say, for folks who don't live in Halifax itself. So yeah, I just I just seem to have missed it, so it is what it is. Hopefully they'll be back again soon. For the looks of things, they're going to be in Summerside, PEI this coming Friday. So if you're looking for something to do and you're in PEI, highly recommend that you go check them out at the Celtic Performing Arts Center in Summerside this Friday. But if you're not, check out their website, portcities.ca. And that, I think, is just about going to wrap up the 1 year anniversary, the first birthday of the show, of the John DuLong Show. Again, thank you so much for being a part of it in whatever way that you have. Like I said, if this is your first episode, if you've been along since episode number 1. Thank you so much for listening. You can always connect to the show and you'll get that information. But just listening in every single week, man, it does touch my heart that you do. Of course, make sure, as I said at the top of the show, make sure that you tune in this coming week on Elwood City Limits. I am there along with host Will Young, former guest on the John DuLong Show, and you may be hearing from Will sooner rather than later. I will leave that out in the air for now, just because there's still some moving parts on that one, guys. But you'll be hearing from Will sooner rather than later here on the John DuLong Show. So we're gonna bring back in the music on this special Tuesday anniversary episode of the John DuLong Show. We'll be back next Monday as per normal. So with that, we do the outro thing now, I guess, don't we? This show is produced by me with music from Mount Plays Here. You can check them out at loyaltyfreakmusic.com. Also, intro music this week was from the Danimals. Happy effing birthday. You can get them at the Free Music Archive. Art is done by Skylar Greencorn, who you can check out at artstation.com/sgreencorn. You can follow me on social media at Jibberdy, Jiberdy. Follow the show on facebook.com/The John DuLong Show. You can email into the show at johndulongshow@gmail.com. I read absolutely everything that you send me. You can also find the show in all the normal podcast places, your Googles, your iTunes, your Spotifys, or just by going over to johndulong.com. And if you could, slap on a rate and review, as that helps get more folks listening to the show. If you want to support the show, go on over to johndulong.com/Patreon, where you can get a number of great rewards. The number is 2, starting at just $1, though. Another great way you can help out is to tell a friend about the show. If they're interested in listening to a guy ramble on for a better part of a year, for over a year now, get them on over listening to their own weekly dose of the Monday morning nonsense. But make sure that you tune in every single Monday yourself. I know it's Tuesday, but it was special. It was a special thing. I wanted to get the show out on the anniversary date. You know what I mean? But make sure that you tune in every single week to the John DuLong Show. And that's going to do it for me, folks. For John DuLong, I'm John DuLong. And remember, I may not be the only egomaniac with a podcast, but damn it, I'm the only one that matters. Thanks. That was the first time that I nailed the new outro. It really is a new year. Well, I hope that you have enjoyed it. Hope that you continue to enjoy it. I've got some plans for some other projects as the year goes on, but we'll get into that down the line as it happens. As it happens, not as it happens like the CBC radio show. That I don't need the CBC's lawyers coming at me. Okay, bye.